Hello everyone, Wendy Ross for USTrotting coming to you from New Jersey as our Top Contenders Tour rolls on. We make a stop at Gateway Farms to catch up with trainer Ron Burke, who has 7 top contenders coming back here in 2025, led by his star pacing colt, Louprint. Ronnie, it's always good to be able to catch up with you. Now, usually it has to be via phone this time of year, but we got to see you here in New Jersey. 7 horses coming back as top contenders here in 2025. How you feel?
Yeah, no, it was a great year last year. The babies were excellent. You know, they're training back great, so I'm happy.
Louprint, let's kick off with him. 7 wins last year and 10 starts. He is the picture. If you want a 2-year-old pacing colt, he's the picture of what you want to have on the track.
Yeah, perfect horse, perfect breed, beautiful mouth. Just really is a great little horse, and Ronnie did a super job with him last year. And I think, you know, Ronnie's driving better than I've ever seen him right now, and you know, probably hoping for a big year for Ronnie and him.
Loved Louprint, fast and gritty, really showed that determination, overcoming post 9 in that Breeders' Crown final.
Yeah, you know, he had never, anytime we put him in a spot to win, he won. So, you know, that was the thing we knew we were going to have to be aggressive, and he went out there and did it, and I had all the confidence in the world in him.
Louprint coming back here at 3, confident?
Yeah, thrilled, and it's doing everything right.
Sippinonsearoc, moving on to him. One of the down by the seaside you have in here, 2024 was good to him, had that record-setting mile down there in Lexington. Take us through 2024 with him.
Yeah, great year. He got started late because of a little injury he started out with. By the end of the year was really good. I mean, that was the one worry halfway down the stretch. I was like, Jesus, I'm going to get beat by my own horse. But, you know, I'd have been happy either way, but I'm being honest, Louprint's a homebred. I was a little bit happier with Louprint.
Moving on to Swingtown, another Ohio bred. Now, I know this might hit a little close to your heart. Let's compare those seasides to the Lou's.
You know what, they're different kind of horses. You know, obviously I'm going to always take Lou. I think Lou's the best sire in the game, but you know what, we've done incredible with the seasides. They're very willing, you're almost too willing. You just got to make sure you always keep the brake on them and take your time. And it's a little tougher for me. You know, Lou's I can just push when I want them, but they're 2 best sires right now for me, you know, and Captain Treacherous, maybe the fillies, you know.
Swingtown, another colt, impressive last year. 6 wins, finished 5th in the Breeders' Crown final, but ended the year good in that Governor's Cup.
Honestly, it was unbelievable in elimination. Came back to Breeders' Crown, kind of pulled a blah for the first time. But, you know, it's kind of you get him in the wrong spot, and he's a little more anxious than we'd like him to be. Probably hurt him. We've got him calmed down right now, so I'm actually very anxious to see him go. He probably has as much ability as the other 2 as long as he lets us do what we want him to do.
Usually I prepare you for these type of questions. I'm going to put you right on the spot. Put him in order ABC.
Oh, it's easy. Louprint, Sippinonsearoc, Swingtown. It's hard to do B and C, but A is easy.
A is
Louprint.
easy. Let's move on to the trotting side. Hidalgo, highs and lows for him in 2024. Where do you think how do you think his year went last year, and where do you think he fits against these 3-year-olds coming back?
Last year, very immature mentally, always was fighting us, making us do it his way. This year seems like a different horse training back. So, yeah, I have high hopes for that colt this year. You know, like I said last year, he was bottom 10. You know, he's got to move up into the, you know, top, but he has a chance. He has enough ability. It was more last year of a fight than I wanted.
Moving on to the pacing fillies here. Start off with Rodeo Drive Deo, 4-time winner last year, but she's 9 of 11 on the ticket. This filly loves to do her work, but she likes to do it the hard way. Take us through her 2-year-old year.
Yeah, like, you know, a horse that I actually broke her tibia training down, and we had to stop with her and give her time off, and she came back and finished the year incredibly strong. David thinks she's as good as any of my fillies. She's big, strong, beautifully bred filly. I think she'll be really good. Like, that's, you know, she did everything at the end of the year you could ask her for. You know, we got to come up with an answer for Mickey and Minnie, but, you know, I think I have confidence in all of mine.
Interesting with her, she doesn't have that usual Burke's racing style that you like to see. Can we see her be more aggressive early on with her this year?
Yeah, I think that was more just because she would have got hot. I think if we raced her that way, not that, you know, she couldn't. For once, we're probably learning that they all can't do that. So she was raced correctly to be a very good horse this year.
Looksgoodinlou, another homebred in here for you. She was 4 for 8 last year, consistent and very competitive throughout the year last year.
I think she's our best filly too. She just, last year she hurt herself once training, cut her leg, and it kind of bothered her all year. Dr. Keith Brown does my work, said at the end of the year they would never bother her this year. It has not. She's been perfect. I think she takes the step to win her first start, not her, you know, second start. She's she's wonderfully talented, and more maybe of a big track specialist, so I'll probably aim her for more big track races.
Now, when you talk about that, now she resides at your PA farm, right? And the other 6 here are in New Jersey. What makes you kind of say, hey, she's going to stay in Pennsylvania, so these horses are going to stay in New Jersey?
That's my favorite brood mare, and that's my favorite mare, so she gets to stay where I go the most. Basically, she's around so I can have her. She makes me happy.
Let's move on to Rose, another homebred, 7 for 11. This is a filly that really looks like she's fun to race.
That's a perfect horse. There's Brad, my son, trained him down most of the trips last year and kept telling me, you know, this thing's perfect. She'll do anything you want. And I'm thinking, this was the first year you did this. Be quiet. But it turns out he was right. She is perfect. She'll do anything you want.
Now, any of these fillies, have they grown, matured? Anything you'd like to see coming back here at 3?
You know, the 2 were really big to begin with, and they still are really big. Rose, I'm like, I think she grew. Brad, yeah, not enough. I'm like, well, it depends on what, you know, she wasn't going to turn into these other 2, you know, but she'll make a great half-mile track horse down the road. And she'll be competitive in every race, but I can see her at Yonkers, you know, 2 years from now, just winning the blue chip or something. So I'm really excited with her about racing her on smaller tracks when I get a chance.
One last question, those 3 in order, ABC.
Looksgoodinlou, Rodeo, Rose, and that I'm not as sure. You're not as sure on those.
Can we ask Brad about that? Do you think he's going to put in the same order?
I don't know. If you ask which he likes better, I know which one he's putting. Yeah, for sure. You know, we all have favorites. You say you don't, but you do. You know, there's something about them that just attract you know. So, you know, somewhat it's favoritism, but I also know Lulu, you know, she has more talent than any 2-year-old I ever trained down.
Ronnie, thank you.
Thanks, you.